What's going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we got to talk about Do Kwon getting in more hot water with Luna because he just can't seem to stay out of the news. Every single time we think we're putting this behind us and it's all done and over, and the worst is over, it just keeps getting worse. And you're going to see that he could have been behind the collapse of Luna and UST. He could have been a major factor in that actually happening. We can see right here, this was what was originally thought to be the worst of everything. So the Terra employees reported, confirmed to the SEC that Do Kwon cashed out $80 million a month prior to Luna and the UST crash. So they were saying that he pulled out $80 million over the course of like 2 or 3 months. So he pulled out somewhere between 160 million to 240 million, depending on how many months he did. It's either 2 or 3 months before the crash. And people thought that was bad and were upset about that, rightfully so, because him pulling out this money is pulling out liquidity, contributes to the collapse. But there were still people saying, you know what, this wouldn't have caused a collapse. It's only 80 million a month. But it does go on to get much, much worse. And we know the SEC, U.S. federal judge, ordered Do Kwon and Terraform Labs to comply with an earlier SEC subpoena. So the SEC could be involved investigating this, investigating him, and probably rightfully so, as everything that's going against him right now is kind of showing he kind of helped the collapse of Luna happen. All the while he's continued to say Luna's the future, UST is the future, decentralized money. This thing, it's all the future, and it's so great. And he was cashing out behind the scenes. So, not really good signs, but we can also see that it got so much worse. We have, according to Twitter user FatManTerrys, Do Kwon, the founder of Luna and Luna Classic, so the original Luna, cashed out $2.7 billion over the beginning months of 2022. This is in addition to his 80 million a month cash out that he took. SEC have confirmed they are investigating UST. So this is where it gets so much worse. $2.7 billion ripped out of liquidity that he puts into his own pocket or uses it for something, but he took it out and he destroyed the liquidity by doing that and pushing liquidity down. The depeg started to happen, and then the collapse ensued. So he definitely played a major part in this collapse of Terra Luna because of his actions to pull out $2.7 billion. And we can see the thread of this guy right here, FatManTerrys, goes over a lot of stuff in this thread. I'm just going to kind of look at the bigger kind of parts to kind of explain everything. And some here, he says some of you thought 80 million per month was bad. That's nothing. And then he's explaining how Do Kwon cashed out $2.7 billion over the span of mere months before the collapse, thanks to Degen box, the perfect mechanism to drain liquidity. So that Degen box is some sort of like lending protocol. You can see here, Abracadabra's Degen box, the borrowing protocol where people can loop stablecoin buys. You can stake your collateral to buy UST, put it in Anchor, then use your AUST to borrow more UST, put it in Anchor again. And you can see how devastating that could be because there's not really any money behind that. So if you took $1, put it into UST, you get 1 USD, you put it into as collateral, you can borrow 1, so you can double your original investment, and then you can put all of that into UST again, into the Anchor protocol, and you can rinse and repeat. So you could just expand this $1 or $1,000, whatever you want to do, and just have tons of money sitting there that you can use to stake and stuff that's not actually there because there was no money put in to get it there. It was just kind of created off of the original collateral. So it's a pretty big problem, very easy to collapse, and we saw it collapse. But yes, Anchor on steroids is definitely what this Degen box thing is. And by him doing this, he created incredibly thick, near immovable liquidity near the top of the peg zone. In a nutshell, it would allow for someone to cash out billions of UST for MIM at the 1-to-1 rate without disturbing the peg, all thanks to ignorant demand. So MIM is magic internet money, I think that's what it's called. It's part of the borrowing protocol thing. So, but he's able to take billions of dollars, cash it out, get it out of UST and put it into something like USDT Tether or USDC, so that he can get into actual stable coins that he knows are much more stable than his algo stable coin that has never been proven to be stable in history. No algo coin has ever succeeded. But all of this time he's saying this, he's lying to people saying USD is the best thing in the world. It's going to change the world. It's so good. And then he goes over the total amount that happened, total amount of MIM Do Kwon was able to cash out was, without even moving the peg, $2 billion, 719 million, 2.7 billion. This is the exact number. Absolutely crazy to cash out that much money, taking it out of liquidity and eventually leading to this massive collapse. So, he definitely had part to do with the collapse of Luna and Terra. He wasn't just some bystander trying to save it. He actively took a part in taking it down. And this is the part where it just gets really bad because he is directly lying to people to try and get them to give him their money, saying, he's always said things. UST is the future. Decentralized money is sound money. UST won't depeg. Centralized stablecoins will rug you eventually. Which brings up the question, why did he cash out $2.7 billion from UST into USDT or USDC, which is Tether and USD coin? Tether is obviously, everyone knows Tether. USDC is, I think, Coinbase's stable coin. So why would he go from the decentralized one he said so good, but move it into the centralized one that he said is so bad and they're going to collapse? And the only ones left standing are the centralized ones, and his went to zero. And even on top of that, when he launched Luna 2.0, he didn't bring stablecoins back with it. So he really must not believe that this is the best money you can get in sound money and all this stuff. Otherwise, he would have tried to launch it with stablecoins again, but he didn't because he knows that those are a massive problem and you actually can't get what you want to get done, or you can't actually run this stuff. And he knows that, but he doesn't want you to believe that because he wants your money. And he kind of wraps up this thread here talking about, even if you give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that the 2.7 billion went to the Luna Foundation Guard, what about the $1 billion and $1.5 billion raises? The amounts simply don't add up. And instead of leaving people to speculate, we implore for and demand proper transparency and accountability, which would be the easiest way. Just get Do Kwon to show everything. It's on the blockchain. Show it all. Explain everything that happened, even though I wouldn't trust him if he explained stuff because he's going to lie. But you should be completely transparent. There's no reason not to be, unless you're hiding something from running your kind of $1 billion scam here. And just ends it talking about calls to action, clarify the purpose of the trade, publish a PDF breaking down everything, doing all this stuff. Again, I don't think it would matter that much because he's going to lie. Do Kwon is going to lie on everything, and he's going to get with the SEC. So hopefully the SEC can figure this out and their investigation goes somewhere. It doesn't just, disappear and we stop hearing about this. But what we do know is Luna collapsed. Luna 2.0 on the relaunch collapsed. Terra collapsed. Everything he's been involved in collapsed. I think if you were part of Luna and you lost everything and you bought the Luna 2.0, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You might have a gambling problem because that was probably the dumbest thing to do. Everything Do Kwon has touched has collapsed and gone to zero, but he made sure he keeps his money and that he can stay rich, but he doesn't care about the people investing because obviously that doesn't matter to him. Hopefully something comes from this SEC investigation and, we can see something actually happen because the amount of scamming going on crypto is just ridiculous. This was the biggest one to fail. It's like $60 billion. But this happens every single day with less amounts of money, but it doesn't mean it's any less important. Scamming just needs to stop. It's so annoying to deal with everything in crypto. So hopefully they find something, do something with Do Kwon as an example to show all the other scammers that no, you're not untouchable just because you're in crypto. That's going to do it for this video, guys. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in my next